Hey guys, what's up? So, we're going to do something special today. Today, we're going to talk about verses. And for once, it's not about the actual chapter that we just got, which was chapter 11, but instead, we are going to talk about some of the theories that I have for the manga, right? We only have about, I want to say, 15 chapters as of right now total. So, although I would love to do something like talk about who I think would win out of all 13 of the enemies, I just don't think that's something that I can do accurately at this point because, for one, we haven't been introduced to all the enemies. We haven't seen all of them and what they're capable of. So it's kind of impossible for me to make that prediction without having at least most of the information together, right? Now, I have seen some other YouTubers who have tried to make a prediction. I really feel like they're just trying to be the first one to the prize, so to speak. But again, I just don't think you can accurately make that prediction until we get introduced to all of them. And at this point, we've seen. I feel like we've only seen about one third or one fourth of the enemies, maybe half at the most. But we still have yet to see all of them and what they're capable of. So instead of making a prediction of who I think is going to win, I would just like to talk about some of the facts of the manga that I think might affect the story in the future. Okay, so we're going to talk about that today. All right, so one of the main facts here, one of the main things that are going on that I think is going to affect the manga is so out of all 13 of the enemies, one of the worlds has an enemy that they call God, right? They said that their natural enemy is God and they are petrified of this enemy, right? They don't even like to say the name, they don't like to talk about it because they feel like when they say or do anything, God comes down and essentially smites them or affects them in a negative way, right? Especially if they say anything bad about him. All right, so one thing that I would like to point out about this God is let's not forget the Versus manga is written by the author one. The author one has also written One Punch Man. If you all recall, One Punch Man also has God within the story. Okay? You guys kind of see where I'm getting at here? All right. So let's understand that the author one is very clever. Okay. He's really good at putting little subtle foreshadowing in a story and pieces of a puzzle that might even fly over the radar for a lot of people. They might not notice it. And he's really good at eventually bringing it all together in a way that makes sense and is very ingenious. Okay. So I say that to say that it wouldn't surprise me if it's at all possible that the God in One Punch Man is actually the same God that the God's World people are referring to. Okay. And if so, that's really exciting because that opens up a whole world of possibilities, right? So that's really exciting. So let's talk about that a little bit, right? So if in fact the God from the God's world in the manga verses is the same God that is referred to in One Punch Man, then honestly, that kind of opens the possibility for somewhat of a crossover. Now, I'm not saying it has to be a crossover to where, the world has joined worlds with all the other worlds, right? Because remember, in verses, through the wizard's spells and through portal dimensions and all kinds of different ways, all 13 of these worlds have joined each other from different dimensions and universes and things like that. So it's not out of the realm of the possibility for someone from the One Punch Man world to intersect with the Versus world, right? Especially again, if God is present in this world as well as the One Punch Man world, because it's been speculated that is there more than one God, or if there is just one God, can he reach multiple dimensions? And it's actually been proven in One Punch Man that this God is affecting multiple dimensions, because if you guys remember, Blast says, I'm not the only one out there fighting this war. And then they show a plethora of other warriors who I'm assuming have the same abilities as Blast, the ability to travel in black holes and things of that nature. So again, it's not out of the realm of possibility that this God is affecting the Versus world too. Okay. So what I'm hoping is bro, this would be so fucking awesome. It would be so awesome if, let's say, someone within the Versus world, right? Let's say they're off on a mission and they come across a cube, right? And it would be so awesome if somebody touched the cube and then Blast appears. And it would be, I think it would be even more like climatic, right? Or I don't know if that's the right word. But it would be so much cooler if maybe the person touches the cube when they're like right about to get killed by an enemy or something like that, right? And they touch the cube, and then Blast appears because they touch the cube, and he comes and he saves them. He just like fucking obliterates whatever enemy is about to kill them, whether it's a giant, I don't know, the giant creatures from the green world or whatever, or a calamity, or a demon, or a robot, or a Mandarin from the Cosmic Devil world. Like, it would just be awesome if Blast just shows up because somebody touched a cube in the Versus world, and he just shows up and he kills whatever enemy, saves them, and he's just like, yeah, I'm from a different world, but you guys touched this cube. And then if he could probably enlighten them on the God from the God's world. He could say, yeah, the God that is tormenting you guys is the same God that I'm fighting, and we're working on it. And like, bro, it would be so insane, and it would make sense. That totally makes sense, right? And the God from One Punch Man, he's really cool looking. He's essentially as big as the moon, essentially, or just slightly as big as it. And he's so massive, he's so strong, and he grants people powers. That would be awesome. And again, this isn't really a theory. It's more just of a strong desire. I just think it would be so cool if Blast showed up and fought somebody, in front of the Versus characters, and they're like, dude, who are you? Can you help us? And he's like, sorry, dude, I got to go back. I got my own war to fight. But what if he's like, hey, you know what? I can't help you, but I'll bring somebody here who can. And like, what if he brings back like Flashy Flash or Saitama or Genos or... Bro, I'm telling you guys, I don't know if my hair looks crazy right now, but I had to take the hat off for dramatic effect. I am telling you guys, that would be fucking insane. Imagine Hollow and all the rest of the humans and imagine they meet Genos or Saitama or Flashy Flash or fucking Drive Knight or somebody like that, bro. You kidding? Hey, bro, oh my God, I just thought about that too. That's another, and I did think about this in the past, but I didn't remember it till just now. Another theory that I might have, what if the AI, right? The AI from the robots world or whatever, what if that's being controlled by like Drive Knight from One Punch Man, right? Because essentially that's what Drive Knight does. The same thing that the robots do, right? It'll fight an opponent, it'll gather data, and then it'll make a new robot that's even stronger come back and defeat it. And Drive Knight's fighting style is he won't fight an opponent until he gathers data first, and then once he gathers enough data to where he knows how to beat the opponent, then he'll start to fight them. Like I said, bro, there's so many possibilities that the author one can pull into this. And again, some of these are theories and some of these are just my strong desire to see a crossover, because it's like, dude, it's your content. You know, as far as the author one goes, it's like, these are your stories. You don't got to cross them over to where they're completely sealed together and you can no longer separate the two stories. I don't think you got to do that. Or, you know, maybe cross them over and seal them together towards the end to where you could wrap both the stories up. You know, maybe both One Punch Man world and the Versus world, maybe they come together to fight God. You know, like, all of that is possible, and it would just be super fucking awesome. So yeah, yeah, that's some of my theories right there. Yeah, so God, it would be nice if we get some cameo or a crossover of some kind of the One Punch Man characters into the Versus characters. And yeah, I think it would make total sense, and I think that would be really fucking awesome. But you know, I mean, if there isn't, if I'm mistaken, it's not the same God, and there will be no kind of crossover, that's fine. I still think I think Versus is an awesome story. I'm really into it. It's got so many enemies, so many characters. Well, you guys tell me what you think. I could have swore I had another theory about Versus. But I can't think of it right now. Again, I could just think of, you know, I want to see characters from One Punch Man and Versus, and it would be cool if it was the same God. If I think of another theory, maybe I'll make another video, but that's it for right now. Well, if you guys like this video, if you guys like talking about theories and such for Versus, hit the like button, subscribe, and leave it in the comment box that you'd like to talk about this more often, and we'll do that. But otherwise, I will see you guys later, and I hope you have a good new year. Happy 2024. Bye.